Hi everyone, it's Kelty here. For those of you who have been following us for a while now, you know we're very passionate about helping people reconnect with nature through our lenses. And equally so, we're very committed to helping support wildlife rehab programs with our proceeds in doing this because we realize how important it is to help protect the wildlife. And so not only for us, but for future generations as well. So in doing that, we've had some really amazing experiences, and one that I wanted to share with you is one that we have done in the past, and that's working with Carol Kelly at the Medicine River Wildlife Center here in Alberta. And a few years ago, while we're running our bed and breakfast down by Water Valley, Carol knew that, as photographers, we're always out looking for wildlife. And so in that area, we have mule deer as well as white-tailed deer. And so Carol often gets orphaned fawns that are brought into her, and sometimes people think that they've been abandoned, where actually the mom has just left them, because as a newborn fawn they're actually much safer away from mom because they don't have a scent, so they don't attract predators, and of course their spotted spots that they have help camouflage them. But anyhow, Carol ends up with these fawns, and sometimes, yes, they have been orphaned. The mothers have been killed, or they've abandoned the fawn for one reason or another. So anyhow, this particular day, Carol had brought down a couple fawns, and she brought them down in a pickup in padded dog kennel crates, as you'll see in the image here with this video. And anyhow, she said that at the point, we're looking for a mom who is lactating, and that means either she's had a baby or she has a baby. And of course, I said to Carol, how are we going to know this? And she says, well, you find us the does, and we'll show you how it's done. So I thought, well, this is fun. We're on board. So anyhow, we took off that night, and we're doing this like kind of later in the evening. And anyhow, we drove around for probably about an hour, because of course, when you're looking for does, they're not always there when you need them or wanting them. So anyhow, we drove for a bit, and lo and behold, a mule deer ran across the road in front of us. So we stopped, and what they do is Carol and her staff, they get out a speaker, and they put it on the top of the vehicle, and they play a distressed fawn call for that particular species. So if that mom, as I said, is lactating, she will want that baby. They have such a strong maternal instinct. It's amazing how this works. And so anyhow, they played the call, and the mom, she popped her head out of the bushes, and she looked around, and she just wasn't interested. And Carol says, nope, she's not the right mom. And probably wasn't a mom. Anyhow, so we got back in our vehicles, and we drove around again, and then about 15 minutes later, another deer was spotted off in the bush there along the side of the field. And so anyhow, Carol gets out, and she puts the speaker out, and they play the distressed fawn call again. And this time, the mom, totally different reaction. She turned and looked at us. She did an about face, and oh man, was she pissed. She came up to us and kept a distance, but she was snorting, and she'd stomp her foot at us, and then she would start kind of pacing around. And so Carol says, oh yeah, this mama wants this baby. So then Carol then takes the baby, puts it underneath the bushes nearby, and we get in our vehicles and we take off. 15 minutes later, we come back, and if the baby's gone, that means the mom's accepted it. And so I said to Carol, I said, so what if mom doesn't accept the baby? Because I kind of had visions of us chasing a fawn through the forest. Anyhow, Carol says, no, that baby will stay there, just like when its mom would have put it underneath the bushes or in the trees prior. So the babies will stay until the mom releases them. So if mom doesn't take that baby will still be there when we go back. So lo and behold, we went back, and nope, mom had taken the baby, and the baby was gone. So anyhow, we got back in our vehicle, because we still have another little baby to find a mom for. And so we drove around again, and it was kind of getting later in the evening, and we're always looking for areas that are also away from any farm yards, because we don't want to distress the farm animals, because when they hear a distressed call like this from a baby, it upsets them as well. So we stay away from any kind of civilization. So we're driving off into the bush area, and lo and behold, we found another mom, and played the distress call, and sure enough, she turned, and she was a big mama, and she was pretty excited to see us, but yet pretty upset that there was a distressed baby. So as Carol mentioned to me previously, is that these fawns, when we're looking for does, like this one's a big doe, and she says that she's probably a very mature doe, and even if she has twins, she will take on a third baby because they have such a strong maternal instinct, and also their milk is very, very rich, and so they don't need to feed every 3 or 4 hours like a human. You know, they can go many hours, and that's why they'll often leave their fawns off in the forest for 8 hours or more. So they don't need all that milk all the time. So having 3 babies is not a big deal for a mature doe. So this here was a big girl, and yeah, she took that baby, and it was amazing how they were able to go off, and we were able to see evidence because when we came back after putting the baby under the bushes, we could see in the tall grasses that she had, the doe had called the baby, and she went up to the mom through the tall grasses right where we had seen the mom. So that was pretty cool. We also had another incident too one time when we were out fostering, and we had 2 does at the same time. Carol had told me that when they play this distress call, it can actually be heard almost a kilometer or more away. So anyhow, at this particular moment, we had spotted a doe, and she was quite interested. So Carol was just about to put the fawn underneath the bushes, and at that time, Stan spotted another doe coming from the opposite direction, just full tilt. And Carol figured that she was probably one of those that was coming from a kilometer away, because when she bounded, she cleared the fence, hit the ditch, hit the road once, into the ditch again, and then over the fence. And anyhow, she was there, and so we had 2 mums. So we weren't really sure who was going to be the mum that night, but Carol says, yeah, someone's going to take away a baby. So put the baby under the bushes, took off, came back, and sure enough, the baby was gone. So it's, you know, it's stories like this that really remind us how important it is to have programs like this. And so with that, we want to thank you for your support this past year, and hopefully that next year we'll be able to continue supporting amazing programs like Medicine River Wildlife Center. Well, have a great day, everybody, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.